Arsenal fell to a terrible defeat in Belarus against minnows BATE Borisov. The visiting Gunners were awful, lacking creativity and barely having any chances as they suffered a 1-0 defeat. Arsenal goalkeeper Petr Cech reacts after Stanislav Dragun scores the winner for minnows BATE Borisov. The shocking state of the pitch certainly didn't help, but Unai Emery's men were woeful. Stanislav Dragun scored the only goal of the game, heading home a first-half free-kick, but it could have been so much different had Henrik Mkhitaryan turned in an early cross when one-on-one. Things went from bad to worse for Arsenal when Alexander Lacazette was sent off for a nasty elbow. We rate the Arsenal players who lost to BATE, and it doesn't make for pretty reading. Piers Morgan leads angry Arsenal fan reaction to dire BATE defeat. Unai Emery's Arsenal were terrible in the 1-0 defeat to BATE. Petr Cech. Arsenal fans won't have it, but there was little Cech could do with the first goal. It was a good header from Dragun. Apart from that, the veteran goalkeeper stood up to everything that came his way. Shkodran Mustafi, the German international, was poor but somehow managed to come out of the game looking better than his defensive partners. Slow to read danger and nervy in possession. Laurent Koscielny nearly cost the Gunners a goal when he completely switched off and allowed Nemanja Milic to sneak in and hit the post. The Gunners skipper is nowhere close to the player he once was. Nacho Monreal, another player well past his prime who shouldn't really be a regular starter if Arsenal want to win trophies, looked a yard off the pace, although he had little protection from Kolasinac. Matteo Guendouzi put in lots of effort but his final pass was lacking. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The attributes for a good player are in there, but Maitland-Niles is a long way from the finished product. Brilliant athleticism, but too often picks the wrong choice, and what is his proper position? Matteo Guendouzi, the floppy-haired midfielder, wasn't great, but he showed a lot more effort and courage than some of his more senior teammates. Always made himself an option and wanted to carry the ball forward, although his final pass was poor and he was caught out of position a couple of times. Granit Xhaka. Awful performance from the midfielder. This is the kind of game that a top-class central midfielder should dominate. Xhaka was meek on the ball and found himself outthought by BATE midfielders. Granit Xhaka had a shocking performance in the middle of midfield. Said Kolasinac, arguably Arsenal's most dangerous player, which says a lot about how poor the rest of the side performed. Remains a poor defender and not quite a winger. He spurned a couple of good openings in the final third. Alex Iwobi, the forward, had some good moments, but his obvious limitations encapsulate this team. When he decided to drive at BATE, they were terrified, but those moments were few and far between with Iwobi, whether under instruction or not, too often happy just to play an easy pass then take a risk. Henrik Mkhitaryan. If only Mkhitaryan had scored that early chance, this game would have probably been a lot different. But he didn't, and unless you were watching closely, you probably forgot he was even on the pitch. Alexander Lacazette gets sent off for elbowing Filipovic as Arsenal lose to BATE Borisov in Europa League. Alexander Lacazette, the striker, only had 2 good bits of service in 90 minutes from an Arsenal side severely lacking creativity. He then made matters much worse late on when he was sent off for a nasty elbow on Alexander Filipovic. Alexander Lacazette was sent off late for a nasty elbow. Subs. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang came on with just over 20 minutes to play but didn't have a chance. The lack of creativity and spark in this Arsenal team, missing Mesut Ozil and Aaron Ramsey, really is shocking. Lucas Torreira. It speaks to